These are some of the best racing simulators in the world.
Bro, that's exactly how it feels in the real car. Wow. This is really cool. I really like the effect when you start braking that it actually goes back.
I traveled 12,000 kilometers to visit Podium1, where they build professional level motion simulators built for motorsports training. I'm a professional racing driver and coach and started my career in sim racing only, with zero karting background. So I can say I'm a harsh critic of racing simulators. In this video, we'll go from entry level to some of the most advanced simulators they make. And here's where the magic happens. This is the huge hangar they use to build and test all their simulators and flight simulators before taking them to the buyer's home and installing everything there.
Every order you see or every system you see is a customer order, varying shapes and sizes. So for instance, right here, Adams Polishes, which is probably one of the biggest detailing brands in the US. They're giving this away for their, I think 25th anniversary. They bought a rig from us to give away to their audience. You've got custom rigs like this, like the Ferraris, powder coated. It's gonna match a customer's car.
All these are customer orders, right? So they're all built of different stages, different sizes, different whatever people want, but this is where we stage everything up, get everything configured, tested, dial in all the settings, do all the configurations, you know, all the different sims and stuff.
I guess during the week, this is like very busy.
Yeah, so we have
30 people.
30 employees.
Essentially every toolbox you see matches an employee, and so it's...
So there's two people at each station, and there's people in here. Inventory, I think that's important just because like when you're doing the 5%.
So the 5% code goes for all of this?
Yeah, everything, even for turnkeys. Pretty much anything and everything that you can think of from all the different brands, Cube Controls, Acetec, Hussenvelt, SimiCube. We have some of our own controls that we're developing that we'll show at some point. We've got BD8 shifters, D-Box, Cubic, PT actuators, everything else in between. Obviously you see Moza, and we're constantly, I mean, we get truckloads.
Yeah, it's a revolving door.
Every day, there's trucks pulling in, dropping
in
stuff
and out.
off. In and out. And we have 2 forklifts going around and doing like a little dance or whatever. Oh shit, I didn't even notice I got put up there.
Yeah, they fully cleaned out that area over there.
Awesome.
Good,
so with this, Chandler saw it online and he's like, I want it, right? So we bought a fuselage. It can fit 4 people. And so we were gonna go and repurpose and rebuild the whole thing for a sim, right? So a customer came in and he saw it and he goes, I want that.
We were like, no.
We're like, no, it's ours. It's ours. This particular one, we'll build out ourselves, so we'll fix all the damage and everything, but pretty cool.
That's so cool.
I mean, we've got an R8 back here as well. We were planning on doing this a lot sooner, but I can kind of show you. So this is an R8 that we've got the motors out of it, the transmissions out of it. Like you can actually push it, it's so light, but we're gonna turn this into a sim.
Oh, wow.
So we'll do a full car sim.
You're gonna go somewhere, someone's garage?
Well, at some point, but right now we're just doing it for ours. It's just a car that's sitting here that we don't do anything with. So we're like, well, we might as well turn it into a sim.
What happened to the car?
It caught on fire.
Perfect destiny.
Yeah. And so while we're over here with the cars, this is another thing that people love to see, right? So you guys can see that we have Exotic Autosport in here with us. This is our friends that we brought in early on. Because they do all our track preps and all these different things, and they modded all our cars. So we're like, look, come in because this is what's cool, right? So now we have all these different cars that come in here all the time and we mod them and do all this special stuff. Like that STO over there, for example, you know, the STO is, I think, 650, something like that, LP 650, right? So like a 650 horsepower car, right now it's at 1500 horsepower with a front, we put a front diff on it, so now it's 4-wheel drive because that car's stock is rear. And so that way it can handle all the power.
And obviously like just a casual.
Yeah, you know.
What year is that?
2005.
The way they make it look so similar to the 65 one.
Yeah, like
crazy, right?
This thing wants to chop your head off. Have you ever seen these doors open and close?
No.
Like, I don't even know how to. Yeah. So if you're tall and you shut the door, like Steve, you're having probably get chopped.
It's like a guillotine.
Yeah.
Chop. What I love is that there's a V12 Aventador sitting there and we don't even care. Yeah. There's so much cool stuff here.
So this is our entry-level rig. It's like just over 10 grand. Can be with and without motion.
Nice. Let's try this out.
Now here's one thing I can tell you. I've tested probably over 100 simulators in my life. I went to many sim racing events in Germany, in the US. I traveled all over the world. I had many simulators myself, so I know exactly what feels good or not about a sim. And with my experience, what I learned is that a good simulator is one that allows you to very quickly think about just driving. So if the sim is good, you actually don't think about the sim. You just think about beating your lap time or figuring out the balance of the car and just play with it. If you think about your steering wheel, it's because it's probably not good enough. If you think about your view or your monitors, it's probably because they're not good enough. But if you forget everything and just focus on the driving, that means everything is working very well. So this actually made it a little bit difficult for me to actually judge the simulators because I was having a lot of fun and just driving. That being said, even their most basic entry-level simulator is well set up for esports competitive level precision already. So for anyone who's focused on sim racing lap times only and performance within the sim racing events, this is already a very good option. But the thing is, most of their clients are actually racing drivers in real life. So they do want that extra motion to try to replicate as much as possible the movements that the real car and the real suspension will make.
Man. This is the most basic version of the whole store, right?
Yeah,
And it's already so f***ing solid.
It feels good?
Yeah, I was able to, in 3 laps, just find my flow and then really good. And it's really like efficient too, right?
It's a great rig. I mean, for the price, you know, well-built PC, triple monitor setup. I mean, it's good. All right, ready to go to the next one up?
Yeah, let's go.
This one, pretty much in between our P2, P1, we do get requests for Formula One specific seating position. So this sawbelt seat, actually super happy with it. ASR rig and F1, so elevated pedals. Triple 45 curbs. These are 2K OLED, 5090.
Nice.
And it's a great system. So it's running, you know, super, you know, 174 FPS, 200 FPS, max settings.
Maxed out.
So jump in, man.
Yeah, let's go.
W13 at Northland.
Oh, this is the most fun combo ever, man.
Crazy. You got D-box motion as well on this.
Can I move this forward?
Yep, yep.
Ooh.
Should be good. Yep,
Yeah, that's good.
perfect.
Hee-hee.
So Invicta wheelbase, Forte Formula wheel. Let me see what your...
This is their Formula style rig, and I know how important it is to get used to this kind of posture, especially if you're going to drive a Formula car. I did drive a Formula 4 series, and my first time in the car, it felt a little bit weird because I had never actually practiced in a simulator that had this kind of posture.
A little bit too optimistic. This is the best part now. I love this.
And this one has their most basic form of motion, which is not even close to the actual advanced motion stuff that they have, that I'm going to show you at the end of this video.
Yeah, that's already a very intense ride, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially with the seating position being back at the end of D-box, it feels so much different than if you're like right over in like a GT3 setup.
Yeah. And the monitors are so close to you,
Yeah.
you don't see the edges,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
gives
they
like
come-
full
they-
immersion. Oh, I really like it. The pedals super stiff, super responsive. The action of the motion is so fast.
Yeah.
You can literally feel the hopping
Yeah.
from the ground
Porpoising.
effect.
Yeah.
The purposing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Oh yeah, you can see your head's all bobbing around. It's funny.
Yeah, because I mean, on a straight, you're just touching the steering, right?
Yeah.
Now it's time to show the big boys. These are the simulators that try to replicate the motions that you would have in a real car with the highest fidelity you can package at this size.
I mean, this one literally has a ladder together.
This one, our P1S, the 4DOF, probably one of the better feeling motion platforms that we've ever come across. And the main reason is obviously you have that traction loss. But just how it's set up, the pivot point feels really nice. So you'll feel it really before you even see it. And with G beltage or G-force simulation, it'll pull you, and it's a good setup. So we'll set you in what you were, so you can kind of compare and contrast.
And you guys can install this like in any apartment.
Anywhere. They're heavy. That's like 1,200 pounds. This one's around 7-8. So sometimes we have to actually completely disassemble it just to get it into a room.
You never ever had to worry about like floor weight capacity
No, I
or
mean, we
something?
definitely check. Like, you wouldn't want to put this in like, you know, a really old house upstairs unless you really had someone. Like, so we'll work with like contractors even just to make sure that, you know, the floor joists and everything are sufficient. We don't encourage putting, especially like this system upstairs, unless it's like pretty monster house with, you know, could support it.
Well, I'm on this 26th floor, so I would have to definitely think about these things.
Yep.
But it's a concrete,
concrete,
brand new
you'd be fine.
building, so. And we put pianos up there, so
Yeah, there you go.
it's kind of the same thing.
Yep.
Does this move too? The steering wheel, can you pull it down a little bit?
You want to come forward?
Yeah, down a little bit. Oh wow, okay. Yeah,
You want to
that's
bring
it.
it forward at all?
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. That's pretty convenient.
Now, more than motion, one thing that I really like, having tried so many simulators, are the seat belts. These will literally pull and compress your chest according to how many G-forces you get under braking, acceleration, and cornering. It really tricks your brain because sometimes when you're turning, it pulls one side more than the other and so on, and it really works. It's insane. This one has a 4 DOF motion, or degrees of freedom, and it basically can go up or down, tilt forward and backwards, like pitch, and it can roll side to side. So you can feel the motion when you're driving over a speed bump or crest or hill. The roll and pitch are very useful because they can help you understand the state of the suspension, what's happening under braking, acceleration, and cornering, and you can physically feel which corner of the suspension, which corner of the car is actually loaded the most or the least. Now, because I spend most of my time racing in real life, I started to notice how these two last simulators in this video are actually the closest to what I really physically experience while racing. But even this simulator did not blow my mind as much as the next one.
What do you think, man?
I think it's intense. For sure. Oh my god. Yeah, really like it. I like the seat, the feel on the brakes is so natural.
Yeah.
Like after the 4th, 5th corner, like you don't realize these exist because it just adds to the immersion in a subtle way. Yeah.
I noticed that this belt tensioner, you severely miss it after you get on a rig that doesn't have it.
Oh yeah.
It seems to be, in my opinion, one of the best bang for buck, like haptics. You know, $1,500, and you know.
It's true. I mean, in a real car, you really feel this so much that that's definitely the most efficient.
And this is by far the best simulator I've ever driven in my whole life.
All right,
Wow.
So let's go to this one here, which will be 6 DOF. And this one's interesting because the entire motion code is completely different from the 4 DOF, just because it has surge and sway. And so normally on a 3 DOF, if you accelerate, like on a D-box or even on the system, the back will dip, where this one will actually kind of lunge forward, so you go back into the seat. And so it's completely different feeling.
This is the most counterintuitive motion system I've ever driven. It doesn't make any sense if you look at it. It doesn't make any sense if you actually look at the motion itself, but as soon as you get to drive and you brake and you accelerate, it just feels right. Just to repeat what he said, when you brake, the sim actually goes backwards so that you can feel the G-force of the car braking, the car slowing down. So visually it feels wrong because when you brake, the whole thing goes backwards, and when you accelerate, the whole thing goes forward. But because there are so many degrees of freedom, the way they coded the motion allows you to feel the G's and at the same time understand the suspension state. So when you brake, the sim goes backwards but pitches down so that you can feel at the same time the suspension state of the front tires being compressed and the G-forces in your body. This is amazing. Obviously, you still cannot feel sustained G-forces. If you want it to happen, you would have to actually have the sim moving around. But at this point, you might as well just buy a race car. What they do instead is focus on the peak moments, the peak shifts in motion direction, so you can feel the initial braking motion and the initial acceleration motion, which are the most important, especially when you're trying to find the balance of the car, when you're trying to understand the weight transfer during the transition between braking and turning, in between turning and acceleration.
I really like the effect when you start braking that it actually goes back,
Right?
and then when it yeah.
Pretty awesome, right?
That was crazy.
It feels a lot different from the 4 DOF though, doesn't it?
Yeah, when it goes that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of dropping, it actually sends you, right? Whereas that one just will drop to give you that feeling.
Yeah.
The pullback with this actual push.
The cool thing, I enjoyed watching because seeing all the elevation changes in the compression. I mean, this thing was like squatting, and then you're lifted up on a hill. It's sick.
Yeah. Wow. Can I try that again? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to do the braking. I just want to start accelerating and braking, getting just absorb a little bit more how it works. Bro, that's exactly how it feels in the real car. Wow. Wow. This is really cool. Yeah, this is the most impressive so far. Like,
this is the top dog. I mean, that I didn't think was possible.
wow.
This one's just under 90 grand. And that's white glove delivered. Obviously, you've got almost a $4,000 seat here. The Recaro Podium. It's essentially got all the bells and whistles.
What do you feel the most when you're racing in real life?
That's what everyone feels.
It's the initial brake.
It's the acceleration and the deceleration, right? Again, like when I took Daniel Killian yesterday in the hot lap thing, right? He starts laughing because of the acceleration, and then he's laughing even more because of the deceleration of the braking. Those are the things that people don't normally feel on the road, and when you can feel that on the sim, it's like, that's awesome.
I'm extremely lucky to be, first of all, a race car driver and to be sponsored by companies that I truly believe in. So thank you so much, Podium1, for sponsoring me this year, to making it possible for me to race at IMSA in 2025. And with this partnership, all of you guys have 5% discount on anything, including the full turnkey simulators on the Podium1 website. All you need to do is use the code SUELIO for 5%. Thank you so much for watching the video until this point, and there's a lot of good stuff coming up. See ya. If you're a racing driver, this ad is for you. Confidence behind the wheel doesn't come from being fearless. It actually comes from knowing exactly how the car will behave at the limit. The Almeida Motorsports program teaches you a clear, step-by-step system to safely test the grip, build consistency, and remove the unpredictability that makes you hesitate and crash. You will learn exactly what to feel, what to do, and how to stay in control. If you don't feel more confident and more consistent on track after this course, you got your money back.